Hi, it's Betsy Marshall, back for part 5 of Managing Challenging Behaviors. We talked about communicating with your children, and that is probably the most effective technique of changing a behavior, of getting your child to respond to you. There's a lot of workshops out there sort of called How to Get Your Children to Listen to You. Well, we talked last time about not asking questions. Remember that? We don't ask, do you have to go potty? Do you want to go to bed? Because those answers are usually no. So we make a statement. It's time to use the potty. It's time to go to bed. Now you can soften those blows. Sometimes we talked last time about Katie, who was playing at my desk. She certainly didn't want to leave playing with the toys to go use the bathroom. So mommy can talk to her, get down to her level, make sure Katie is looking right at her when she says, these toys are great and wonderful, and you can play with them when we get back, but right now we're going potty. Okay? I'll hold one. We'll walk with it to the potty. So if you think you're going to say something like, it's time to go potty, or it's time to come to dinner, and you have to leave your toys to do that, making that statement of what we have to do now is going to be met with resistance because they don't want to leave what they're doing to come and do the next thing. So those transitions are hard. Communicating a warning then. It's going to be time to clean up in 2 minutes because dinner is ready. Okay? And some children need that. So you're going to get down to their level and you're going to say, you have 2 more minutes to play with these trains and then it's time for dinner. So you might need to give a child a warning, okay, if you can't just separate them from their activity easy enough to say, now we're doing this. You know those kids. I have a few of them too. Those are the ones that need a warning, or they need to know these trains will be right here when dinner is done. So some of you control freaks who wants to clean everything up, sometimes you need to say, these trains can stay here for an hour while we do another activity and we can come back to them. If you have a needy little guy or girl that needs to know, those trains are going to be there and I'll come back. So understand that behavior too. We talked about understanding behaviors. So back to communicating expectations. So we talked about making sure you are close to them. We call it in close proximity to them when you are talking to them. We're not talking from 2 rooms away. Come to dinner. They're going to ignore you. You have to be close to them. Getting their attention, making sure they look at you before you say, it's time to clean up. If you are saying, it's time to clean up, 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 it's time to clean up. I said it's time to clean up. What you are teaching them is, mommy doesn't mean what she says until she says it 10 times and her head is spinning. We're going to say something 1 time. Now, I learned this very important parenting technique actually when I took my dog to dog obedience school way back when I was in my 20s, before I even have kids. The teacher said, the command is, Rusty, my dog, sit. Not Rusty, sit, Rusty, sit, Rusty, sit, 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 Rusty, sit. If you find yourself as that parent, it's called the barking seal parent, who keeps saying, Timothy, sit, Tim, get over here, Tim, come here right now, Tim, get over here. 1, 2, Tim, and you're saying, Tim, come here 14 times. And Tim is not listening to you until your head is spinning, you're clapping, you're counting, you're threatening his little life. You are teaching Tim, I don't mean, Tim, come here until I've said it that many times. You're going to change your way. Or he's going to think you don't mean what you say the very first time you say it. This is a big difference for some of us, right? We find ourselves repeating and repeating and repeating ourselves. Parenting is hard enough we talk enough. You should say it one time, but you have to say it in a way that is effective. You have to go to where your child is, get down to their level, make sure you have their attention, and again, that's with just a be quiet. They'll look in your direction to see what is she going to say, and then say, in 2 minutes, we're leaving. We have to get to school. And then in 2 minutes, you come over and say, okay, it's time to go. Now, when they say, go, or they push back or say, no, I don't want to, you are not to repeat yourself. I don't want to hear you say, it's time to go to school. I said it's time to go to school. I told you we're leaving for school. They heard you the first time. You know how I know they heard you the first time? They reacted with tears or hysteria. They got the message. You don't need to repeat yourself again and again. What you need to do is just do it. I'll help you clean up. We're going to go. Or come on, my friend, let's go, and take them by the hand. If they do the whole spaghetti arms, then just wait. I sometimes use other techniques besides saying it again and again. My children, if they don't respond to me the first time, and I have them, I have those ones that test me, I'll do, whoa, did you see that? I made a little vocalization and a face. Your face says a great deal. Mean what you say what you mean, with every bone in your body. Sometimes, again, we're very distracted, or we don't really mean it, or we're kind of wishy-washy. Don't be wishy-washy. It's time for bed. And don't say it again and again and again. Okay? So we're going to make sure we communicate effectively and teach our children we say it the first time we mean it, so that you're not repeating yourself. That's going to take some practice on your part. Sometimes you might even have to say it one time and then put your hand over your mouth, so you're not repeating yourself again and again and again. They heard you. Make sure your body language is backing up what you are saying. And then a big one I'm going to leave you with: do not argue with your child, whether they're 4 or 14 or 24 at my house. We're not going to argue. It's time to clean up. We have to go to school. But mommy, back and forth. Takes 2 to argue. And if you're fueling that as the adult, you're a big part of that problem. Okay, run over time. Think about those things. You're going to make sure you're giving a direction, not asking a question, and only saying it once. Do a vocalization if you need to reiterate that. Certainly a look on your face, snap of the fingers, something else besides repeating. Okay? And then do not argue with your children. We'll talk about negotiations next time. Thanks. See you next time.